Serious question. Have you ever lost your Sewjo? Or basically, have you lost the desire and, the will to get up and sew or do anything related to sewing? Because that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I've heard people talk about it before, but this is kind of the first time I'm recognizing it. Like, I literally was in my sewing room with patterns that I have printed, taped, and cut out, looking at my fabric and just be like, I don't wanna. It's kind of sad. But I decided I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to move on and do other things until I feel the desire to get in there and start creating again. So in the meantime, I thought it would be nice to reminisce on all the projects that I have done since the beginning of the year. So I'm going to include Simplicity 9287, the blouse with the little bow in the front, as it was right at the end of 2025. I think I'll include it in this recap. That blouse I did as a part of sew-in chats that were 30 minutes long. So it was over the course of several weeks that I made that blouse. And maybe that is a good idea for me to try again, is to just try 30 minutes a day of active sewing in order to just get back in there and get things done at a slower pace. I really like the blouse. I think it fit okay. There's a little bit of gaping in the shoulder when I wore it in London. But I think the ties in the front are super cute, and I like the darts, or the shape that the darts give the blouse, and the cap sleeve. So I think I probably would make that one again. The first official projects that I completed in 2026 were a kids ensemble using McCall's 7966 and Simplicity 9280. Or I made a kids two-piece, which was a top with kind of a gathered bottom underneath the bodice part and straight leg pants out of a thrifted pink bedsheet. That was pretty easy sew. I enjoyed the project. The only thing I didn't like were the elastic part of the kids' pants. It was a fold over waistband instead of a separate waistband piece that you sewed in and inserted the elastic. So I don't think the finish was really good on that. That's something I can work on in the future. But overall, I think it was really cute, and I think she loves wearing it. So those are patterns I will probably make again. The next project was an outfit for my aunt, and they were two patterns that I had made previously, two free patterns. One of them were the Petite Citry adult yogger pants and the Georgian gender sway top. I love both of those patterns, and I especially like the shirt. I feel like I should make more of the patterns that I really like that fit and look cute. And I think the Georgian ginger sway top is one of those patterns that I should just make a few of to have as kind of like basics in my wardrobe. You can make the sleeves long for the long-limbed girls. It has a cute neckline detail, and you can embellish it with buttons or any other thing along the placket there. And it fits really good. So those are two patterns, again, I would recommend. After that, I made a simple, cute little heart-shaped bag from another free pattern. I added a strap on the heart-shaped bag. It's a heart-shaped zipper bag. Super easy, downloadable. I forget what website it is, but if you look at the link in my description, it will probably have it there. Also in February, I made the Chandler bag by Jadore Beauty Patterns. It is a fanny pack pattern, and it is so cute. That is my main purse right now. I love it so much. But I feel like the pattern instructions themselves could have been way more clear. The pattern instructions included photos of each step to make the bag, but the photos use black fabric. And so when you're photographing black fabric, you cannot see anything. So I think that wasn't really helpful for me. I had to go to YouTube and find another video of another person making a similar type of fanny pack to finish the bag. So that is one downside I have, or one kind of negative thing I have to say about that pattern is the instructions weren't that clear. But since I successfully made one of them, I can make it again easier next time. And I think I definitely will be making that pattern again. The next set I made was McCall's 8368, which is a athletic set. It is the pants, which you use jersey stretch fabric for, and the top. I made probably the two most difficult views of those pieces, but I really, really love the pants. The pants are definitely my favorite. I made them with some funky stretch fabric that I got years ago, probably 2-3 years ago. Really interesting and different design to make them stand out. I lengthened the legs on them, and even though I have said in the past to myself, I don't like bell bottoms. I in fact do like these bell bottoms. I think they are so cute when they are the right length and they fit my lower portion of the body really well, just as is. I would definitely make that pattern again for the pants, but I would use a different view for the top. I wouldn't do the little twisty thing. I would probably just do the basic top part of those pants and make them again. Finally, I made the Raven dress, the Raven shirt dress by Mood Fabrics. It's a free pattern and it came out within the last couple months. Perfect for spring, summer. I cut out the pattern in a woven fabric when the instructions called for a stretch fabric, but luckily it turned out okay. The instructions could have been a little more clear, especially for the neckline area, because the facing doesn't go all the way around, and so there's a lot of raw edges left out on the neckline, which I guess they figured wouldn't make too much of a difference because you're supposed to be using stretch fabrics or jersey fabrics anyway. So that part, I don't really like the inside as much as the finished product, but I definitely love the finished product. I think it's super simple, but you know, it's got the kind of stand-up collar that makes it just a little bit different and cute. So I definitely recommend that pattern, and I probably would make it again. Oh wow, my video cut off. So anyway, I think I was saying that the Mood dress is like a simple dress, but it has unique features that makes it look a little more elevated. And so I would definitely make that pattern again, maybe next time in a knit fabric. So looking back at all the makes I've made thus far in 2026, I can see I've definitely had some good times in there. One of the motivating factors for me sewing a lot of these pieces were gifts like for other people, as well as trying to sew for my upcoming trip. But then as my upcoming trip came and went, I didn't really have a reason to sew. So maybe for me to, you know, get back in the game, I need to have a project I want to do, and I do want to make something for my mom's birthday. So that'll probably get me back into the game. Or maybe I could try to do the 30 minutes a day just to get into the practice, get a little bit of progress done over time, instead of thinking I need to set aside, you know, half a day to do this. I can take it slow, no need to rush. Or I could just relax, you know, do something else, do my puzzles, read a book, watch a movie, you know, do other things until the inspiration hits. So let me know in the comments which of my projects thus far in 2026 were your favorite. And also let me know how you got over, you know, a slump in your sewing desire, how you found your missing Sewjo. Thanks for watching.